You guys had visited Nykthos Shrine to Nyx previously on Theros Dragon Ball Z, spoken to different legendary creatures of the gods that you worship, who put you through some ordeals. What the ultimate outcome of those was supposed to be, you weren't really told. You were then sent up a staircase of light into the sky to walk into the sun in order to be transported across parts of Theros to the sun's mirror in the grasslands of Oreskos. Deciding to waste no time, you booked it during the middle of the day to cover ground that you might have lost or ground that you might need to make sure you keep up with, considering the reforged King Anax, who seems to be madly driven towards Mount Kyr to destroy the temple to Heliod / Erebos, which has been built inside of it. He's on his way there with a dragon and potentially some fire serpents. And it is divinely ordained upon the three of you to help deal with this situation. Your first night was fairly peaceful as you rested under the sky of Nyx inside of Takik's tiny hut. A very useful little dome. And the morning came, you all were freed of your points of exhaustion, but 2 days of travel still remains before you. To break down the travel a little bit, if you guys double timed it for both of the remaining days getting there, or traveling there, that 3-day period would become you'd get there on the afternoon of the second day, rather than getting there on, I believe, the evening of the third day.
Okay.
Like a plan?
You could see it when you were over at the Sun's Mirror as well, but now that you are closer, there is, at the peak of one of these mountains, a shining reflection of the temple of Heliod that is up there. It is too far to make any sort of details out of, but as Petros has told you, the temple to Heliod is made completely out of gold, so you think it probably will reflect quite a bit of light, especially as dawn comes. So is the consensus to just keep double timing it at the risk of potential exhaustion?
Yeah, I'm down.
I am down as well.
Yup.
All right. Can I just get a survival check from everybody in the party?
Revival.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Now we
Oh
really are
goodness
in trouble.
me.
Athen, not really one to pay attention to the surroundings that much when you're double timing it, trying to get to a location. You are guided pretty well.
Places to be.
Yeah, you are guided pretty well by the rest of your party, as Draki and Takik seem to spearhead this double timing, navigating around certain areas in Oreskos, some of which are a little bit more familiar to Draki as hunting grounds for dangerous creatures that would just be best avoided. The day of travel brings you closer to Mount Kyr. As the sun is setting, I will need everybody to make me a Constitution saving throw, aside from Mr.
Marathon man?
Marathon Man. Yeah.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
very nice, brother.
Suck that shit, Athen.
Cool, you've proved you are as good as me.
Amen. But always better looking.
So it's also at this point, as you guys are going and looking to set down kind of at these foothills of Mount Kyr, there is always, as you have been, the kind of grasslands of Oreskos that you could just pick a spot, lay down in, and do the tiny hut. you do notice closer to the foothills, not a significant distance away, or closer to the beginning of these mountains you'll need to ascend to get to Mount Kier. There is a campfire pretty close by, where you would naturally be going to start making your way up through that environment.
That's got to be them.
Them's all the way out here.
Yeah, them's all the way out here.
I mean, Draki, what are the locals like? Is it typically pretty friendly and welcoming, or should we keep our distance?
My village was quite the friendly bunch. It's hard to tell with all these other roaming villages, especially with how the you know, we're kind of in a shit era right now, so they might be a little bit more on guard.
Is that what they're putting in the
Um,
history books? Welcome to the
yeah,
shit
pretty
era.
much.
Yeah, the age of
Yeah.
heroes has ended. We're now in the shit era.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
Fuck the
pretty
dark
convinced
ages.
that-
This is the shit era.
Pretty convinced that I could convince these people, to persuade them
True.
to let us stay with them.
Do they have any like banners or anything I could see that I might know more about the
You can make me
caravan?
a perception check.
Ah.
Nice. So nothing distinguishing really of the different tribes of Leonin that exist around here. They don't seem to be hiding at all, so you don't think they're trying to stay hidden or away from anybody. But also to add on to a little bit of the knowledge you would have from being here, some of those further settlements in the Catakathons did tend to sway or vary a little bit from the general Leonin sentiment. In the grasslands of Oreskos, oftentimes outsiders are looked on suspiciously unless they're traveling with a Leonin. And
Perfect.
you definitely fit the bill. So you think even if approaching this camp with these outsiders in the shit times, your word would carry enough weight as one of the locals.
I think we should be good going and talking to this group.
I have no objection.
Yeah, fine by me.
Perfect. I guess we make our way up there, huh?
And as you get closer, something that was just a little bit difficult to see from a distance, there is a banner on one of the bigger tents that just has a sort of stylized sun to look a little bit like constellation in the sky. Not a sign of Heliod, as the Leonin aren't often worshippers of gods, but a sign of the Sun Guides, Leonin clan that is more in touch with the mystical nature of the world, oftentimes like druids and sorcery.
Gotcha. And whatnot.
Yeah, not like a aggressive tribe or anything like that, but
Right.
and you have met people who are from the Iron Mains who are a lot more of that like traveling on their own, lone wolf kind of abrasive. Sun Guides are much more accepting of people.
Gotcha.
But let me go ahead and grab you guys.
And this is at like towards the, I mean, after our travels, so towards the end of the day, well, we're pretty beat and tired, correct?
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Or I guess not Thomas.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't say the result of the Constitution, but Draki, you are you do have a point of exhaustion from that.
Fuck.
Just like hits you all of a sudden. It's like, oh man, I'm real tired.
Oh boy, I could use a nap.
I may be a cat, but these dogs are barking.
So you guys are.
I swear to God, I read that as Pyra, and I was like, no way she's here.
Fucking pirate.
Yeah, it's actually a camp of all the NPCs that you met.
What? It's like
Where
the end
is
of Baldur's
them?
Gate.
I don't see various.
I mean, them can change his shape, so he could be here.
He could actually be.
I didn't even think about that. That's insane.
He's been here the whole time. I'm them.
So true, though. I am them.
But the person who does sort of spot you guys as you're coming up, not bow drawn as they are in the
He's gonna shoot.
in the
Get down,
the
Mr.
image, but he does
President.
have a bow along his back. Walks over and is just like, "Stop, travelers! Who are you, and what are you doing out here?"
I'll start talking. Hello, we are traveling to a far off place with our friend here, who is our guide of this area. We mean
I'm
no
over here
harm. We mean no harm, but we were going to make camp and saw that there was fire here and decided to approach to see what travelers are around. Um, my name is Takik, and this is my traveling companions Athen and Draki.
You can make me a persuasion check.
How can I ever?
He seems to sort of follow the story that you're telling and the straightforward nature that it is. He does look over at Draki and he's like, "And you, brother, you corroborate this story?"
Indeed, brother. We are on quite a long journey. Mayhaps after we set up camp and hunkered down for the night, I can share some of our tales with you.
Indeed, these are interesting times. I would love to hear these tales. Please come. Make sure. Oh, I deleted the geek.
No!
No!
I was supposed to delete the line that I accidentally copied.
The
and pasted
snipers
over
got him!
here. Come, make camp. We have some space cleared here. You're welcome to set up.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it.
My name is Ikaros, by the way.
Ah, very good, Ikaros. Like my friend said, I am Draki from the Katathan Mountains.
So close.
Yeah, Katathan.
Katakon.
Yeah,
It's as good that you are on this side of the Katakathon Mountains, then.
that's what it is. I knew there was a fucking part I was missing.
I don't think he's buying it, Draki.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Very dangerous times up in the Katakathons. And the other Leonin over here, who you would notice kind of holds a higher position, both because of the big tent and just because of some of Leonin culture as what would be referred to as a queen in the individual prides. She speaks up and she's like, "Yes, we've set up this camp for refugees coming down from the Katakathon Mountains. There have been quite a lot of people coming from the scattered villages up there, and over the past around year-ish, there have also been many displaced creatures that we have tried to keep track of and hunt to make sure that they do not cause any problems within the rest of Oreskos."
I appreciate you keeping these lands safe and protecting them from the foul serpents and the other such that are terrorizing the mountains. They're quite brutal.
I look around and see, I don't know if it's just because you didn't make them on the map, but are there refugees around?
So looking around, there's nobody here aside from them. Sorry, there's nobody here aside from the Leonin.
He pokes his head out of the bush. Hey guys.
You had been told previously by some Leonin you met in Akros that refugees are being sent to Tethmos, the capital of the Leonin region. Did you mute yourself?
Right.
No, I'm trying to find the map. I don't know where it is.
In the booky thing.
Handouts.
It's in journal, I
Handouts.
Yeah,
think.
handouts.
Well, if you would like to hear our story, I am one for a fine tune and a story myself. I do enjoy performing and creating mirth.
Don't worry, I trust this satyr with my life.
You sound very confident in them.
Well, I was gonna say Stagman,
He's
but
acting real sus. Not gonna lie.
Stagman didn't sound like it would be proper to say.
That's,
It's
you
not
made a
true.
good call there. He's not a stag man. It would be improper to say. But Takik, you are regaling them with the tale of your adventures, start to
Yeah.
finish, or what is that like to
Um,
Keek's descriptions?
Probably explaining from when we got to uh Akros. Say I'll probably just say that we met there at the half horn, whatever, the
Satyr's
half
half
horn,
horn.
Satyr's half horn, and then traveling out. And at this point, Takik is like, I'm a demigod, so he's definitely gonna talk about meeting with like the gods, champions or whatever we'll call them, like their second in commands.
Got it.
This is news to Athen. He's like, wait, you're a demigod?
You
Why
make
didn't
me
you
Well, I'm not
tell
gonna.
us?
performance check. Nice. They are all sort of enraptured by this tale, and especially when you start talking about people on the likes of Electon and Metamai and Kalemne. They seem a little bit less impressed by the stature of these people and more of the stories of like their backgrounds and the deeds that they've done. And again, although the Leonin are very sort of putting off of the pantheon, mentioning yourself as a demigod, they do all sort of like look around and nod. Like it does sound like there's been quite an adventure that you have been on. And the ones who have been mostly quiet, Solanos and Crescent, are sort of like whispering back and forth to each other on the other side.
To be fair, Takik feels like a demigod. He's not necessarily saying that. He just more is like got the airs of like we are essentially becoming like living legends, and he can like he's not like shying away from that fact because they basically got told that already. So, but yes, very
Speaks the truth.
prideful in that,
Absolutely
in like a
cooking.
he knows he's the shit kind of thing, and so it's his traveling companions.
And you, Draki,
We get a small reference. It's like, yeah, they were there too.
Yeah, these guys somewhere.
No,
and these
no,
guys
I'm.
helped.
Look at that performance. That's a 24 right there, buddy.
That's true.
I'm gassing everyone up.
Hell yeah.
Phyla does look over to you, Draki, and she's like, "You said you were from the Catakathons. Were
And
you?
he's
I was
single.
indeed. That too.
You were displaced by the same troubles then?
I was indeed. The dragon that you may have seen in the mountains that's running amok did come through my village and destroy it. Which
It's
I
a
am.
child of Perforos, if I'm to understand.
Yes. From what we understand, it is King Annex, who we are on the journey to try and stop from destroying more of Leonin villages as well as all of Akaros.
Then you were the only survivor of your village?
I have heard news that my daughter may have survived. I plan on traveling to the capital which I can't remember the name right now, in
Tethmos.
searching of her.
Again,
Tethmos,
just
for her.
not buying your story that you're a cat person at all.
There's a lot of names. Dude, tell me, what
did
was your daughter's name?
my daughter's name was Ella. She would have possibly have had serious burns for our village, was received no mercy from our attackers.
Yes, we have received many who have been hurt by these magma serpents out there. I do recall towards the beginning of our efforts out here, there was a young Ella who we passed along the way to Tethmos.
Do you know if she got there safe? Was she in good company?
She was guided by another group of our clan who is currently delivering refugees to Tethmos as well, or right now. So they did not report any losses along the way, and they have since come back and taken more refugees to Tethmos.
Have you guys heard or seen sightings or gotten reports of where the dragon is currently?
They are close to the edge of the Katakathon Mountains. However, they scouts such as Ikaros and Silanos have gone out to try and see where they end up. Some days they fly closer to, it seems their destination is Mount Kier. On other days, there seems to be a struggle going on with the dragon, and it flies in the other direction for some time until it starts coming back. Believe they're roughly around 2 days away from Mount Kier.
Okay.
We are gaining on them. And thank you so much for the information. That really puts my soul at ease knowing that she is in safe hands and that I should be able to find her once we have completed our mission.
Yes, and Brimez has made it. Brimez is the current speaker of Tethmos, for those of you who are not from the area. He has made it his sole effort over the last year to make sure that the refugees from these terrible situations that have been caused by the meddling gods are able to find new places, new tribes, safe shelter as they are fleeing these strange times.
Well, I'm glad to hear that at least here in the valley, you guys are safe and able to help all those who are misplaced through this catastrophe.
So you all have some form of desire to stop this king annex? You're all tied to this somehow?
Of course. It's a evil that we cannot let go unanswered.
Do you have any idea why he races to Mount Kier?
Yeah. He's um he's seeking to free the, again, I don't remember if they're actually called Titans or not, but the
Odd.
Titan Flage.
Takik's just like kind of standing there, just like rolling his eyes and kicking the ground because he just gave an epic performance and no one paid attention to him.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that they're asking that. I feel like it was covered, but
He sang it in Seder or whatever the fuck their language is.
Look, I gotta be able to get in there somewhere. She's recounting the story that you're telling as she's asking these questions for more clarity.
Understandable. Yes.
Awesome.
King Annex brings he's bringing a fiery axe in to the temple of Heliod that is on top of the mountain, and he plans on severing the connection between our world and the underworld to release the Flage, the Titan of Fire.
That certainly is quite a mess. One thing we can inform you of, if you've not been in the region for some time, as it seems, the king was previously traveling with these serpents made out of fire. It seems he has been able to harness whatever power it is that allows him to call forth the magma of the earth to create almost soldiers or golems of lava that fight by his side. They have
Yes, we
caused a
believe
lot
that
more
is
problems for us.
we believe that is because of the axe he wields. Or
We got something to splooge on him with, though. Don't worry.
that is true. We do have a plan for taking him out.
Yes, I remember the part of your epic tale where you splooged on the lava cave.
Well, just making
Well,
sure.
she had it coming. I'm just kidding. We were the ones coming.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Well, like we said, you're welcome to make camp here or nearby, should you wish to. I thank you for the sharing of your tale. It brings a lot more light to the situation. It was not far from our estimations that this was some sort of issue with the gods bringing more destruction upon our lands, but the tales will certainly be easier to tell in the future, now that we know this.
And I do appreciate the information you have provided to us. It is a great help. Also, the service you're doing for our people is greatly appreciated.
She looks over at Icaros and she's like, "Seems like it is time to take watch, Icaros." And then he walks away into the grass.
Can I call a powwow before we all bed down?
Of course.
Is that just to the party, or is that to the
Just to
whole
the
camp?
party. No,
Okay.
not to them.
All right, guys, team huddle. Get together. Come on.
Well,
Everyone else, get away.
it caught my mind when you mentioned the flask of water, decanter. That's the one. Decanter of endless water.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned like we had a plan for Anax. We haven't actually discussed any sort of battle plan for fighting him, and I guess now we know he has lava soldiers.
Well,
It might be
yeah.
best to try and strategize.
I do agree with you. I was just trying to
Yo.
give these people more hope. These
No,
entire
I get it.
time.
You weren't wrong, and I do think the decanter is definitely a powerful weapon against these beings of fire. But I get the feeling that King Anax will be a bit more hard to quench than Ignakshi was.
I do believe that is true. I do believe if we are
Fuck is
somehow
that?
able to get him away from his axe, that would be a great help to us as well. Seems to be a lot, or his power is more or less coming from that. From
Yeah, I
what
do
I
think
have
though.
recalled.
Not what's the created brother's name?
Petros.
Petros.
Yeah.
Petros did mention, I think it was him, that him and his axe are not so easily separated.
Yes, he did.
Oh God, it blinds.
I want to see all the water.
Damn.
Sorry.
Oh, there's water.
You guys can't
So,
see
like-
that?
No, it's
Oh,
fucking dark out.
gotcha.
So yeah, I agree. Like getting his axe away from him is definitely good, especially because that's like the key to the underworld, not just a powerful weapon.
Mm-hmm. Just how to go about that.
Just how to go about it. We also have a dragon to contend with. Notably hard to fight creatures if you don't have a way to attack them while in the sky. I don't know what
I do have
the
a plan
temple looks
to
like.
try and get the king away from the dragon,
Okay.
potentially.
What is
Let
that?
me let me consult my bones and tea leaves really quick on this spell's abilities while you guys talk.
Huh?
Okay. Um. So I mean, even if we get the dragon away from him, I think if the dragon is still under his control, we have to deal with a flying murder machine.
Right.
There's the hope that we could maybe shake his control enough that is it Tectos?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tectos might help us in this fight. I don't really know where his loyalties lie, other than he just doesn't seem to like Anax.
Right.
So that could go either way. I
And
don't
it
necessarily know
seems like
how to
he
break
kind of,
his control, but
yeah.
So my plan or thought, and I'm trying to figure out if it's worth. I don't know if I'm going to take my loot in as being attuned to it, so I can climb on them with my mask. My thought is I could potentially Misty Step onto the dragon right next to the king, and then Dimension Door him and I down to the ground. But I don't know if that works with if he has to be willing.
I believe he does have to be willing. My thought was, you still have command, right?
I can cast my command as well.
Because you could just tell him to dismount.
True.
That should get him off the dragon.
And if the dragon is a intelligent creature, could you not just command the dragon to roll over?
Sit. Good boy.
Yeah, I mean,
You just tell the dragon to land.
yeah. Hmm. That
But
does
it
create
does say
quite the
willing.
predicament.
I could charm him and then do it.
Yeah. I guess at that point, if we can get him charmed, we could also maybe give him to willingly give up the axe. Just say like
Right.
disarm, or whatever.
If we hit him enough, will he become charmed?
If I charm him, you can't hit him, or else it's gonna break the charm.
Right. I think it goes the opposite way there.
Oh, okay. I thought for sure that would.
My other thought was, I don't know what the layout of the temple is like. I don't know how open it is, or like how many passages or rooms there are. It might be best to try and bait him inside so that we limit the dragon's mobility.
Yeah,
If
I
that's
mean,
possible.
maybe we're able to beat them to the temple at all, or
I mean, we should with the pace we're making.
right.
One thing also I do have is I have greater invisibility that I can give to one of you,
That'd be
which would
very
be
helpful.
dope.
What does greater invisibility do?
If I don't, as long as I can maintain my concentration for 1 minute, one of you can be invisible and you can like attack.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I also have. I'm trying to see because on my with my loot I can cast fly, invisibility, levitate, protection from evil and good, animal friendship, protection from energy, fire only, and protection from poison. Also, if I play the loot while I'm casting charmed person, uh it makes the person roll at disadvantage. So I think I will stay away from my epic teleportation plan and attune to my loot so we can do something more fun.
Yeah, and if we're able
The
to
Night
get him
King,
on the ground, we might be able to just grapple King Annex and take the axe away. but I don't know. Is it? He's made of fire now, though, right? Or is it just his axe that's lava?
I'm sure he's, you know, heated to a degree, but from what we've been told, he's probably more akin to the bronze creations of Pyros that we've seen before, like the bull or the hawk or the like winged ram,
That makes sense.
Mm.
right? Because like he essentially combined Anax with the armor he was wearing into like a sort of like mechanical creation, if I'm to remember this correctly.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. He did put him on a forge, so slapped him around a bit.
I could also, whoever has higher grapple, I could cast fly on, so you could fly around and try and grapple him off of the dragon.
Oh, you have fly? Okay.
Yeah, with my loot, I just noticed that I can cast fly.
That's huge.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty big baller, if you ask me.
The downside is with all of these different spells, you only get one at a time.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a lot of concentration,
Yeah.
which I'm very good at. I can cast Animal Friendship on the dragon, and it'll just fail immediately.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Well, yeah, he's not an animal.
I mean,
Is he?
He's not a beast. Dragon.
I'm a beast.
You are significantly more beast-like than the dragon is. Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
real
Charm
quick, do we
animal would
trust
also
these
not work
people?
with you, Drunky.
Damn it.
Do we trust these people? Because I saw the important lady go talk to those two over there, and then she went to bed.
What, you don't have conversations with people before you go to bed?
I mean, we're literally doing that right now.
Yeah.
So can I
I
cast
have no
my
reason
hut?
to distrust them.
Can I cast my hut so I can go to bed after we're done talking?
You gotta stay in the hut.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the hut goes away.
You don't
I'm still
think so?
down to sleep in the hut. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm down as well. I guess we can check and see if we need to provide watch at all tonight, or perhaps
Yeah,
we can
I'm willing
melt this.
to lend my aid in that regard.
As
Yeah.
you guys
I
are
already gave him
talking,
a performance, so
you see Icaros come back to camp, and then he looks over to Silenos, and Silenos goes off.
It hasn't been actually a full watch, though, has it?
It's been at least one.
It's been
Damn.
2 hours?
Lots of time has passed.
Well, I
Wait,
got to
fuck,
sleep.
we all got to get to bed then. Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were talking for 2 hours.
Icaros,
We
real
didn't take that
quick.
much time to talk IRL.
Do you need any of us to help you watch tonight?
No, you're good, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
perfect. We're going to
Good
bed
night.
now. Hope you sleep good.
I just start playing. What is my?
We're going to sleep to cake.
I'm not actually gonna put you guys like under the gun for talking, but I just was moving them
Okay.
around for the sake of showing
Just like,
time
fuck,
passing.
dude.
Right.
Time moves quickly here.
Time be like that
I
sometimes.
go
Guys,
to
we might not
sleep
have
now.
I'm gonna have another day to get to the mountain at this rate.
Fuck.
I'm asleep.
Athen will still take a watch tonight. If anything, just because he's just trying to meditate, pray, and get ready for what's to come, but I'll also just keep an eye out.
Draki is very exhausted right now, so he's just gonna try and pass out for the whole night. He trusts his Leonin brethren and sisters.
Easter.
My sisters.
Okay. Athan, as you are the only one watching, give me a perception check.
The fire's on the whole night, right?
Yep.
What?
Perception. It's not great.
You see the shifts change.
Nothing of note happens as you take your watch.
Okay.
And you go to sleep. In the morning,
Yeah.
you guys wake up. And you are fine.
Yay! We didn't get
Remind me,
robbed in
so-
the night.
We think that this afternoon, at our pace, we'll reach the temple, and the following day, Anax will get there.
So from what Phyla just said, Anax is 2 days away from Mount Kier.
Right.
So yes, afternoon of today, you will essentially have done a half-day hike up the up Mount Kier, getting there around noon to where the temple is located. So that leaves a day and a half for Anax and his host to show up.
Okay.
So they will
Perfect.
likely arrive in the night of that second day after you get there.
Figures he would strike when Heliod's at his weakest.
The asshole. The audacity of this man.
I guess for today,
Well, so we
Athens.
don't need to book it then, do we? We're close enough to where.
So
I
you would make
still-
it there at midday if you are double timing.
Okay,
if we don't, we would get there tonight.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. Traveling only
I
half
think we
of the
need to-
day at a fast speed is not going to cause you guys to do any saves. It's traveling at a
Okay,
whole day
cool.
at a fast speed that makes you do the save.
Okay.
Then yeah, we just gotta book it.
Yeah, I think
Well,
any amount of time that we can get the lay of the land and try and plan is going to be beneficial. Today I'm just going to pray to Athreos and take protection from evil and good again.
Very nice.
Okay, so that's the spell that you're gonna have available to you. You don't just like cast that
From
now.
the helm.
Right. I just didn't remember if it was like a
n-
long-lasting spell.
No, it's not. It's not Baldur's Gate. It only lasts an hour. Also, we clearly didn't get steeds. I forgot about that, so I'm gonna get rid of that spell. But I'm good to go.
I am too. Thank you, Phyla, for your hospitality over the night. We are trying to get a head start on King Anax to prepare for the upcoming battle we have.
You're quite welcome. We hope with the stature of which Takik has sung of your deeds, all of you, that our job at this campsite will soon end.
that is our hope.
I do believe it shall end soon. But if not, please, if you do not mind, you seem like very just Leonins. If you happen to head back to the capital, try and find my daughter, and if it's not too much, I would ask you to bring her along with you in your tribe if I do not return.
I will let the others know when they get back here to search for Ella if it is not my last time, my last rotation at this camp. And we will search for Ella to bring her under our guide.
I appreciate it, sister.
Well, be on your ways then.
Hi ho, Silver.
You just fucking sprint out of camp.
Yeah.
Dust trail behind you.
Benham, bada bida, benham, yeah, man.
Not necessarily the song I thought for that situation, but sure.
What song was that?
It's Venom, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it
I
was
missed the
Venom.
first one.
Venom, do bad, Venom.
I mostly got it from the rhythm. Not I could barely understand the words you were saying.
Oh yeah, because I was pretty much slurring it,
But as you guys are traveling to the switchbacks and different passes that bring you up to Mount Kier, the sort of sheared top of a volcano that has since been quenched by Perforos's will, as well as a desire to trap a titan beneath it. That same sort of bright light does guide you as the sun continues to reflect off of this golden temple. You get closer and you can see as you're moving through the mountain range, very tall, sort of towering structure that you are heading towards. From what you can estimate, there's around 4 floors and some form of rooftop that you can see little statues kind of peeking over the top of. As you're going through these paths, making your way up the hillside, there's not a lot of time to stop and sort of look at them, but you do see signs of battles that have gone on in the different corridors and inclines and slopes that you travel across, where the sort of magma serpent corpses are sort of like laying cooled into magma on the ground. Some Leonin do seem to have fallen out here and just sort of been burned away by some of the monsters. So there has been a constant struggle along these paths as you are going up.
As we
Damn.
are getting up here, I guess. Well, so this is all on the path up to the temple.
So the mountain passes that you guys go through, and then the sort of switchbacks and ways that you end up going to Mount Kier. There's not necessarily like a temple road that goes up to it, but the different ways of scaling the mountainside that you're taking.
When we get to the temple, I want to do something.
Okay. Is anybody doing anything on the way to the temple?
I'm glancing around to see if I can see any like smoke off into the distance, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, you can make me a perception check. Y'all are the most
Pretty clear.
perceptive today.
Pretty clear
Can I make a
skies.
perception check?
Yeah, I mean, are you looking for similar stuff?
Yeah. Whoa.
What else do we need to perceive? Our goal is right here.
It's a shining beacon directly before you.
A shiny beacon? Does it look like this?
Oddly enough, close if you don't consider what that actually is and just think of it as like a 3-dimensional image. Anyways, you guys are continuing out. Takik, you're also kind of keeping an eye for any dangers nearby, any smoke piling in the distance. From where you are in the mountain range, it's kind of hard to tell. There definitely seems to be the smoke that is ever present in the far horizon of Mount Velis, but even that is obscured by the rest of the Catakathons leading up to it. So no indications of a lava-wielding king of Akros in the area, but
Wait.
Guys, I think we're safe. I don't think they're actually gonna come.
They are roughly a day and a half away from the estimates that you have just been given, so seeing them now
Fuck.
would be a little bit odd for if I were to have. Or
I wish we could set some sort of traps.
Unfortunately, do
Philo,
not have any
not
more
Pyro.
bear traps.
I was looking at Pyrana's name. But as you guys are looking and double timing, you do reach midday, the height of the sun in the sky, resting directly above the temple. And I will drag everybody over there. We'll see how this goes on the computer.
Oh, it's big. It's real big.
It's all big. It's all big, boy. Oh, my computer's crashing. Oh my god. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Funny joke.
I'm
Or
a
is.
funny man. Holy shit.
Hey, yo.
So you guys come up to, again, this seemingly crafted from pure gold sort of temple in front of you. There are no torches on any of the walls that you can see at the moment, but these statues depicting warriors on the outside seem to radiate sunlight from them, sort of standing.
Question:
Yeah,
Is it daytime?
it is daytime. It's midday. Let me change.
It is
that.
high noon.
Tis high noon. Dynamic lighting. Should really have like a hotkey for daytime.
Ground floor. Enter Sandman.
But yeah, so as you guys get up here, these edges are sort of drop offs that are the rest of the sort of rim of this, as the volcano nerds call it, a caldera, the kind of mouth of this volcano. The golden.
Is the volcano on both sides, or is one side the caldera and one side's just the?
So the caldera is the
outside.
like hollow middle bit, essentially.
Right.
The sort of top and bottom of this place is that kind of circumference, let's say, if it's a perfect circle. The temple
Right, so, like-
itself is shoved into the ground, essentially, inside of where it would normally be hollow.
So we're in the caldera.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Technically, once you cross this line, but it's
In
semantics.
it.
So these actually go up then.
Down.
Down. So you're at essentially like a volcano goes up in a triangle or a cone, whatever. That peak is sheared off, and you are on the circular top there. The slopes going down are the slopes going down to your right and left.
One could say it looked kind of like this. Just much bigger.
So we're in a bowl, is what you're saying.
If we're in the bowl,
that's just Gollum
walls
jumping.
would go up.
You know what I'm talking about, Jason.
So the
What?
caldera is the bowl.
Right.
Mhm.
So we're in the bowl.
The structure is a plug in that hole.
Oh,
As
so
soon
it's
as
almost
you guys
okay.
cross a line where the circumference of this caldera would be, you are then in where the caldera would be. You are at the top of the caldera. Thank you.
There. The top of the
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes.
So like
So we're on this.
we're looking this way, right?
Yes.
And then like this is the temple.
Yes.
Okay. So if we're
Gotcha.
at, if we're here, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
How are the walls going up?
They're not. They're going down.
Okay.
We're like on a path. It's like a big old rivet inside of it. It's like a little peak on the peak. What I'm imagining.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
guys zigzagged your way up to this point.
Is there a gap that looks down into this bit, or is it completely covered?
It's completely filled in by this golden temple.
Okay.
Temple's also a little bit more like that.
We're walking onto like something like this. There's probably more out here.
I'm loving these pictures.
Like the
It's getting
dragon
better
that's
by the minute.
attacking.
This is the old like lava flow that's next to us. And this is where we're walking right now.
I don't think there's a lava flow.
No, I'm saying like up here and down here. Like this is like a high point that
Yeah.
we're walking on. It's like how like when the
It's almost like
rainwater
a
makes like the little like
plateau.
when the rainwater makes little like rivets down the sides of like little dirt hills. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically a
It
big
would be
one.
the reverse of that.
Erosion.
Yeah.
Erosion.
That is now forever there, I guess.
Yeah, how do I undo?
Wait. Did I just do?
You deleted yourself.
Ah. I meant to delete my drawing. Turned out the lights. I have returned.
Oh, good. Oh, goody.
Took a screenshot.
That is art, if I've ever seen it.
It is
It's too good
indeed
not
art.
to.
Why can't I select what I drew? Can I control Z, or is that going to delete Athan? I can't control Z. Well, that's
I'm going to go
just,
use the restroom real quick.
that's just there now. Oh boy.
Well, are you deleting it with the right computer?
I drew it with my main computer. I guess I'll double check. Yeah, no. Did I not draw it on the main computer? I wasn't on the map layer. Yeah, no. It's on the token layer. I don't know. Fuck it. It's there. As the
Also, that arrow looks like my color, but I can't touch that one. So,
that arrow is from the map of Acros.
well, how did that get?
Because I copy and pasted you guys from from the map of Theros. I copy and pasted you guys from there to the Leonin camp, and you were standing on top of it.
I didn't see it in Leonin camp though.
I was able to select it that time. It was there in the Leonin camp. I was trying to delete it, and I killed Takik that way.
Ah,
Don't say that.
But yeah, you guys stand before this massive golden temple in front of you. The light of the sun seeming to both warm it and almost be absorbed into the gold that it's made out of. There are two doors ahead of you.
can I see if I can recall anything about this temple? Maybe like if it has like monks or oracles who like live in here and maintain this place.
Could make me a
Stuff like
history
that.
check.
Mystery. Could it be religion?
Sure. From what you know of the Temple to Heliod on top of Mount Kier, it is a largely holy place for the worshippers of Heliod. It is, however, not very often traveled to, as it is inconveniently located on the other side of a mountain range in the Catakathons. People who worship Heliod do make pilgrimages out here throughout their lives on occasion, but the time in which the temple is visited most and sort of staffed is during the month that is named after Heliod. Where'd those Militians put their calendar? I should have just had this. Is it really not here? Balls. The month of Heliod.
I assume it's
which
not that
will-
month anyway.
It is not that month. It
It's
is
my
indeed
favorite
the,
month.
the month of Erois currently, as
Let's go.
the Eroan Games are being held at the end of this month.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that checks out.
Oh shit! No.
We've seen signs of battle on the way up here. Are there any signs that any of the lava snakes or other fiery foes may have breached this temple?
There is no sign of struggle here.
Okay. Before we go in, Athen is still going to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Detect or protection from?
Detect,
Okay.
just in case there's any little elementals hanging about. Or, I
Smart.
guess, any of the other things on there. But yeah.
Also, I'm gonna play a little counter charm while we walk up, just because. Never know.
I'm gonna send up a little prayer and just be like, Heliod, just watch over us, please, in your temple. That's right. I'm hitting the Doflamingo walk on this one.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Breza.
You do not. Is it another One Piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
yeah. So, opening the doors, you are not detecting any of the things of which your detect evil and good would detect. But as you're coming in here again, the place seems magically lit by sunlight, coming from different statues and points in the room where the sunlight that is seeming to be absorbed from the outside walls of the temple is almost channeled into here, lighting the whole place up. What you're passing through right now is a sort of foyer, as we've deemed them before, a kind of entry hallway where there are statues of different warriors from the myths and legends of Heliod that are made out of gold as well, just standing there immaculately in poses of pride and sort of triumph.
Would this place look super old, or is it like a well-kept temple?
It
Trying
seems to
visualize.
be
Is it like
immaculately pristine.
okay, cool. Like marble floors, shit like that.
Well,
Or
so no marble. Everything in here is made out of
Ah.
gold. Even the doors and the statues and the
Holy
pillars and the
shit.
ground.
Place is gonna fucking melt when Anax comes here.
It's gonna be dripped out
It's gonna be
though.
like butter.
But as you guys are walking into this larger sort of reception area, there are tapestries and paintings in this area that depict other legends from Heliod's myth and legend. One of those you can see depicts a person you're familiar with because you just met them 2 days ago. Electon, the sort of mythical, I forget what the word for this is. Essentially, the thing to look up to for Heliod worshippers and lawbringers and vengeance takers in the eyes of the sun god, and one of the first of these archons of falling stars that seem to be archons taken under Heliod's wing and made or guided into his image.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
Sick.
Very fun. I feel
Well,
like Rocky
I
should be the most
continued
excited.
exploring. I like all the gold. Very powerful metal.
Very powerful metal.
Metal as shit.
Coming into this area, still gold, still all that. There are display cabinets that hold what look like circlets, diadems, different weapons, armors that are all laid out in these display shelves and cabinets. Again, you think holding some amount of significance to those highly pious to Heliod. There's not necessarily like placards that state the entire significance of them, but they are assorted throughout this room. There is a staircase over here as well that goes up.
I then do want to go check out mythical weapons because that do be his jam. He wants to see if he can recognize any of these.
I definitely want to check out some mythical weapons too, just because I'm like, oh, ooh, wow.
Yeah, the two of you can make
Oh,
me
they use
religion
this?
checks. I heard they use real mules back in the day.
Real mules. Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Yeah, so as you guys are going around pointing out things to each other, you do notice a couple pretty mythical items throughout here. There is armor that has in legend been deemed the Dawn Plate that was said in those legends to be worn by champions of Heliod and help them to wield the power of the sun itself in battle.
Sun. No sun.
You do also pass by. It seems like there's multiple of these. What you guys would recognize as a weapon wielded by the champion of Heliod, Elspeth, who you have been told about previously in her fights against Xenagos. A spear that has the name Godsend in much of myth and legend. A spear specifically designed to enable Elspeth to challenge Erebos, the god of death, when sort of tasked to do such by Heliod.
That shit's dangerous.
That's cool.
They
as
just leave
fuck.
that lying around unprotected?
And they have multiples of them? Which one's the real one?
There are multiple of them in this room. You do also pass by
Oh god,
some.
he's here?
Not multiple.
You do pass by a mace that has a sort of sun as its crown bit, the part that you
That's
hit people
badass.
with.
Good use of iconography.
I like it.
But aside from that, there's jewelry that plays less part in a lot of the legends and tales, but it all seems to be expertly crafted, immaculately well kept, put sort of out on these displays and on shelves. None of it's like a museum necessarily, where they're surrounded by glass and there's laser alarm systems that'll go off that you know of, but they are sort of laid out in very ceremonially decorated ways.
I just look at an empty place on a shelf and just be like, soon, soon.
There are empty places on shelves.
my bracers shall end up there.
Heliod shall take my hands, put them on the shelf, and he
My
shall replace my
forearms.
hands with fucking sun bolts.
He already did that.
Yo, for real.
Heliod, catch these hands, brother.
You literally shoot beams of light out of your hands.
I do technically have magic fists, so I could lose my hands and still punch shit.
It's a very
I
positive
believe.
outlook on things.
What?
Yeah. Because I have magical strikes, so technically I'm not actually
Right,
hitting
but how can
anything.
you lose your hands and still hit things with your fists?
I'll have magic fists.
You won't have any fists. They'll be gone.
No, they'll be magic.
Here I
The
go,
fists you
boys.
currently have are magic. If they're gone, you don't. They're still
The-
magic.
the-
They're just not here.
Yeah,
Hey,
but like the
we're
magic
talking
comes
about
from
fisting,
within
and let's
me.
get going.
So
What,
just
you gonna some-
imagine golden hands.
You think he's just gonna replace your hands?
Here I go, killing again.
No, I could do it right now. I will cut my hand off and prove it to you.
Probably don't do that before our big fight.
All right, maybe I'll do it afterwards.
Heliod, witness me! Cuts hands off.
Heliod's like, "What are you doing?
Witness me!
Guys,
You
I'm
need
stuck,
those."
guys.
I
Guys,
can't wait to jump off the building.
Help!
Oh, you just gotta wait like above the door, so when he comes in, you can just like Batista bomb him.
Oh, exactly. To kick, you're supposed to press the button.
It's a push, not a pull.
Yeah. No, the elevator's coming down still. Here, let me.
I'm trying something
Going
here.
up.
Give me a second. I don't know if this is gonna
All right, I clicked the elevator to go up.
work out properly with my other computer. I think it'd be pretty funny if you cut your hands off in an attempt to get laser hands. This is probably what I should have been doing the whole time if this works. It probably does work because it's what I tried first. Did that reveal the whole outside to you?
No?
Okay, it's lighting it up like it did, but I could have sworn I put
It do that
update
sometimes
on token
though.
drop.
No, all I see
Interesting.
is a little staircase.
So you guys continue walking up the staircase. I realized I need to switch over to this. There we go. There is a archway that enters into more private, closed-off area. There are curtains here. The curtains are not necessarily made out of gold. However, they do have sort of gold trimming and tassels. And they are decorated or sort of weaved, rather, to look like rays of sun. So you think this could be shut at some point for a more secluded private area. There are small tables and chairs here, and a statue of Heliod himself standing here, looking welcoming with his hands out, sort of gesturing as if to enter into the room. There is also a staircase that goes further up. Is anybody saying anything, by the way?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was like, I've opened up a couple other windows.
I was
to do
really
this.
waiting for Takik, who was at the front of the line, to keep moving, and then he didn't, so I just went around him. I'm gonna go look and see what these doors are.
Okay. They are
Sorry, I had
not,
to bring something to Maddie.
they are
Are
not
you
locked.
asking me anything?
Oh, okay, perfect.
You should be able to click on them and open them.
Wait, what? No.
That door's a little bit jammed. Walking into both
What
of
the
these
heck?
rooms, you can see there are beds laid out across the ground. Again, these are some of the few features that are not made out of gold, as that would be impractical, because the entire tower made out of gold is not impractical. These appear to be sort of servants' quarters or places for help or different hands to come together and stay. Draki, even though you're sort of new to the religion, you know some of the people who make pilgrimages through Oreskos come here to essentially serve the more pious and higher up members of Heliod worship. So this would normally be where they are, and they eat meals together.
Gotcha. So they're the priests or whatever, like their
Essentially, yes.
quarters type. Okay.
Yep. But there appears to be nobody here. No signs of anybody staying here.
Right.
Looks like
This is a
a
kitchen?
dining room.
Yeah, there's a well-stocked kitchen in here. The dining room, again, is sort of a communally set up area for whoever seems to be here helping out. The
dream.
kitchen itself does have food in it, and it is all not rotten. I'm forgetting what the name for that is. It's not necessarily ripe.
Spoiled?
It's all fresh, thank you.
I can't move my token. It's stuck in the door.
Well,
Oh, there we go. Got it.
Go on a diet.
I was literally there for like a minute trying to click it.
but the food in here seems, again, fresh, although it seems like nobody has been here for quite some time.
There's
not
no
a mess of differently prepared things. Everything seems to be in order and well kept.
We could actually have a good meal tonight, boys.
yeah.
Like he's
There's no
grab you in a
windows to
piece
the
and take
outside,
a
are
little
there?
bite.
There are
Just a
no
little
windows to the
nibble.
outside, no.
Well, this is sick. Shall we continue up? I want to see if this goes all the way up to the roof.
I mean,
I would think it
food.
does.
You're munching.
Yeah, eat a little bit.
I definitely grabbed like a lamb's leg or some shit. Preserved
The food
goat
does
leg.
taste, well, I mean, so if it's just sort of like the raw stuff that you take, it tastes like the kind of like jerky and preserved goat legs and whatnot. But it does not seem to melt to ash in your mouth or any sort of strange
Why do you
otherworldly
think about
thing.
that?
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's always good when your food doesn't melt to ash in your mouth. Draki and Athan, I can shift tab you guys and piss off Garrett. It's easy in the kitchen. You guys walk up to here. There is an archway. You do notice inside of this room there are what look like glowing motes of sunlight just floating by these pillars, also causing
Vibing.
illumination into the room. In these alcoves that you can see, there are, similar to the Court of Court of Orestes, burial urns.
Draki, do
So
you know
it's-
what is the function of this room?
I believe this is a. What kind of check would I roll for?
I mean, you can make
This.
me a religion check. The sort of base knowledge that you have from your time would be that, similar to the Court of Orestes, this is a crypt.
Okay, that's what I figured. I want to see if I know anything special about it. Oof. I'm actually fairly new to this religion myself.
Indeed, you are. The specific purposes of why this crypt was made in this temple, not really something you were concerned about when you were calling upon Heliod to help avenge your family and your village and fight for the safety of Theros.
Draki's like, this is obviously the storage room where we store all the sunlight.
This is how the sun comes up every day.
This is
You know,
it.
like when in winter the sun gets less. That's because the stores are running low and we got to stock up again.
Well, actually, as the day continues, right now it's actually as dim as it will be. The sun actually sets inside this room, so once it becomes nighttime outside, this room would be unbearable to our eyes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, when the sun
Yeah.
sets, the balls go into the urns, and when the sun rises, the balls come out of the urn.
Exactly.
Ready to go upstairs
Alright.
now,
Okay,
What are these little doors?
you gotta say please.
please.
Oh.
I assume
I
they're
thought you were talking to
larger
me.
crypts.
It looks like more urns.
Yeah,
at
so
this
inside of there are more urns within. There are none of these. Oh god, what's happening?
Wow, it is bright as shit in here.
Right, it is bright. You have 9 or so little motes of pure sunlight.
Do I feel the blessing or whatever you would want to call it?
You do feel the warmth of Heliod's light
Perfect.
throughout the room. You've kind of felt that mostly the whole time you've been here, although the temperature seems to be regulated pretty well for a building made entirely out of gold that sits in
True.
the sunlight all day. Takik, as
We'll
you
say,
yeah,
Takik, probably don't pillage the urns in this temple.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
think
know what you're talking about. That was an
Heliod
accident
would
last
be
time.
very.
that was an accident.
Okay, sure.
In this sort of central
He's
room,
not- I
there
wanna
are
go
more
check it.
burial urns. There also is a essentially a sarcophagus in this room that holds the golden relief impression of the hero Elspeth that you have been hearing so much, kind of laying across the top of it in a decorative way, with the
Wait,
spear
do
that
we
you
know?
saw.
Is she dead?
I guess.
You
Or
guys
Is
have
this
been
the
she's
gone
a
for a
lady that I
while.
saw?
champion.
Is this the lady I saw in my vision that one night?
You gotta be more specific. You have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Hey, you should know from that, okay, mister?
Well, you didn't see that vision at night. You saw that when you drank liquid from a pool of snakes.
Oh, so you did know what I was talking about.
I did.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. These are connected, and you have been sort of told similar things from the people you've asked about that vision that hero made out of light was Elspeth. As for the tales of whether or not she was dead, y'all have been away from Theros for some time and haven't really been spending that time learning about the legends since you've left. Nobody's been like, oh yeah, by the way, Elspeth died.
Okay, because she at least she was alive before I died, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
He had existed in our
I mean,
time.
she was literally
She
in the
had
city
existed.
Well,
Should I
she's
check?
dead now.
during
Should I
those
check to see
last
if she's in
moments of
here?
my life.
I don't think you should disturb a grave, but it could be a preemptive grave. Maybe they just got it ready for her. You know, like
It's a bit morbid.
how you pick the your tombstone out, or not tombstone, your
We're saving this one for you.
Like your
Yeah.
burial plot.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, the
I mean, I
Okay.
guess it's good to know you've already earned a place of honor in the afterlife.
Get it?
Yeah.
Earned?
Aha. Zihaha.
the
To keep
relief.
got bored of that room. It's too bright.
Yeah, the relief is of Elspeth, and again, she's laying sort of as a buried body across the top of it, with her arms sort of crossed over her, and the spear that you guys had seen downstairs also depicted in this art
Okay.
underneath her arms.
We didn't want to try and bring that spear out then to,
Well,
strike God's power
so-
through.
So that one is part of the rest of the design at the top of the coffin.
Yeah, that one's just like a facade.
I mean, the one
I think
downstairs,
Draki
though.
did ask this, and Athen is kind of curious as well. So there were multiple of that one spear down below?
Yes, there were
Is that-
multiple godsends.
Does that match up with the legends that I know?
No.
Okay, is that like the gift shop we walked through? Are those like replicas? Little
I
something
think
for
you
the
should
kids
go.
on their
I think
trip.
you should get one, Athan.
I don't know if we should be
I think
grabbing them
I
per
think
se,
Drocky should
but
ask very nicely, and you should just take it and say, "I will use this to smite down that which would destroy this realm."
That
I mean, I
witch.
could
I
definitely
mean-
give him a ring, like, hit him up, see what's good.
Athen would hope that Heliod would be favorable to us using his weapons to defend his temple. He doesn't, he is going to be respectful about it, but he is curious about why there are multiple of a singular legendary item. That doesn't quite add up with what he knows about it. And he feels like he pays pretty close attention to mythical spears.
Mm.
Oh shit.
Anyway,
I think I put you over
That
the edge.
is understandable.
down to continue on.
I mean, we can definitely go back and investigate those.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be
sure.
back.
Instead of being blinded by the light.
Yeah.
Blinded by the light.
Oh, of course I can't
Maybe
fucking
if we
drag you here. I'm
point
fucking
all the
dragging you on
spears.
the normal screen. I was
Guys.
slamming at that into a wall. It's like, why can't I
Level
bring him
5.
over here?
Oh, look at that. There's little plants.
But yeah, as you guys continue to ascend the
The first time I could have used speak with plants in this whole campaign.
this
You
is
have
not
that
the first
spell?
time.
I did have it, but I got rid of it because it was we were in rocks and fucking volcanoes.
You literally were in like a lush grove when you got that vision.
Yeah, those snakes were hanging on trees, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think I got rid of it before then.
Anyways,
I don't think so.
That's pretty early on.
that's the third episode.
You doubt me? Go
This is
back
the third
and
episode.
go back and listen.
I
You
don't
can
I
tell me
don't
what
doubt you. I'm
happened.
just saying it's not like you've been holding on to this the whole time.
Anyways, as you guys ascend to the rooftop, again, it is basked in sunlight. Still pretty much midday as you guys have just gotten here, and the sun is directly above you. The top of this place seems to have different planters and areas for plants to grow that are thriving. Do not seem to be either designed to live with little water or starving for water, but instead are growing despite the fact that there is no source of nourishment for them in that regard up here. At the center of the rooftop here is a big banquet table. Currently does not have any food laid out on it, but it is also made out of gold. The statues all surrounding the outside of the rooftop, which is just like a sort of 3-foot tall ledge that you can look over and see. Yes, there's a dick there, I guess. All the statues are of Heliod, sort of looking inward to this banquet area in different poses, similar to some of the statues of his heroes and the mythical characters from his legends, standing
Guy's a
in
bit
these
full
sort
of
of
himself.
prideful, triumphant ways, sort of reaching his hands out to welcome people into the area, all different types of friendly, welcoming postures. And then there is essentially a altar at the end over here, looking towards where the sun would be rising in the morning, and a dais of some kind, all made out of gold. See, we're working on the adding the art where I did not have it.
Yes, yes. It's just what popped in my brain when you started talking about it.
I like how silly these guys sort of have, like, energy.
Silly is the
Silly
right
energy.
word. Silly.
Sorry, what
You-
was this? Is it like an altar?
Sort of so this is more of a dais. The altar is behind it. The dais is situated to essentially speak towards the banquet table.
Asmodeus.
God damn it.
Do you not like that placement?
No, I forgot. I needed to ask. I needed something for a spell I got, and I meant to ask the Leonins, but I forgot.
Wait, what spells do you have?
Oh, I got
Guiding
Hex.
bolt.
I wish, God, that would have been awesome. Yeah, I got Hex, and I need a Petrified Eye of Newt, so I was gonna see if they had that, but I forgot.
Also, what do you end up thing for them to have? Oh, there's a druid. Yeah, that you.
Yeah, no, that would their druid.
Oh shit! I blasted you
traveling
guys
band.
past level 3. Um,
Uh,
I was gonna say I didn't realize we got all the way up to the 5th level already.
yeah. It's a dining hall for more established or more esteemed Heliod worshippers that show up here. It's just more
Gotcha.
tables and rooms. I didn't notice that until I zoomed out. I was like, "What's this big black spot?" But yeah, at the
Well, it's
moment
definitely
you
a
feel
good view.
yeah. The
um,
view around you can see pretty much all of the grasslands. Similarly, the reflectiveness of the water from the sun's mirror that you guys were brought here, and you can see from this point as well. Looking out into the rest of the Catakathons, you can see Mount Velis in the distance as just sort of like a plume of smoke. And then the rest of the area around seem to be at a very good vantage point.
Can I see the fucking smoke from Annex now?
You can make another perception check if you wish.
Oh, damn it.
Athen is curious. He feels that we have definitely missed something beyond the banquet hall. He's like, isn't a temple to Erebos also supposed to be here?
They did say it was in
Underneath?
the reverse.
How does one get to that?
Well,
But we
according to some pirate lore I heard from some traveling pirates, don't ask me how they ended up into the mountains.
What?
You flip the boat over. Yeah.
What?
You flip the boat over. So we need to flip the temple over somehow.
In unrelated news, you are 120 feet in the air on top of the temple.
Oh, hell yeah.
I believe those pirates also said in order to be found, you have to be lost or something along those lines.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
pretty much.
lost after what he said.
These are just like fruit trees, or what do we got going on here? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
So there's different types of trees here. Some of them bear fruit. Other ones just seem to be kind of strong oak trees.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. I'm going back downstairs. I'm gonna see if I can find a petrified eye of a newt somewhere in the building.
Athen's gonna look
Maybe in
for
the
the doorway to
maybe in the
fucking
kitchen.
Erebos' temple.
I'll go with that then. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So what?
He's gonna start on the bottom floor because I feel like that's the most reasonable.
Same.
What is Takik actually doing then?
I'll go with Athan.
Okay. We'll pass you guys through the 3rd floor so you can
Yay!
get that visually.
Wow. Dining hall. Ooh, private bedrooms.
So those are not private bedrooms, but they seem to be private
Harem
areas to
room?
go into where you could pray or meditate or contemplate things for time.
Gray.
Gotcha.
Heard it called something different.
Okay.
Worship? What do you
Worship of some kind, indeed.
Tells me worship in the
Indubitably.
bedroom.
All right, stop moving your tokens and I'll toss you back down to the 1st floor. Drocky, you said you were doing something else?
I was looking for yeah, the eye of a
yeah, you
newt.
were
I
looking for
figured I'd go to the kitchen for that, or the maybe a I don't know, a servant left one under a bed.
You can make an investigation check for me, and
Oh
Athen.
no, I dropped my petrified eye of Newt.
Athen as well as
Hey, you never
Takik.
know.
Either both of you make an investigation check, or one of you make one with advantage.
I probably should not be making this check, so I will help Takik.
I have a 2. So. What is your?
It's a negative.
Oh, perfect.
I have +3 to investigation.
Nice.
Draki, as you are going around searching the past belongings of people and the kitchen, you sense the warmth of Heliod almost like grow in a direction as you are sort of guided by this warmth, and eventually reaching into a lidded pot. There is this Eye of Newt that you are seeking.
Yay! My god,
Athen
it's so
and
cool.
Takik down on the first floor, you are not noticing or spying any sort of hidden passageways, any staircases or doors that you've missed. Any way to continue going down from this floor that you are on. Aside from the displays that are out and the art that is there, yeah, there's not really anything to note.
I'm gonna head down to the first floor after finding that.
Remind me, what did they say that we were that he had to destroy? Was it like a statue?
He had to get in to
Because
the
he had to destroy
in-between
one.
of the two.
He had to destroy one on top here in this
You were told that
Helios
he is coming to the
temple.
Temple of Heliod to get to the Temple of Erebos below, and he has to get to the lowest point, which inverted would be the top of the Erebos Temple. What he needed to do there, you weren't told.
So, when we were initially told, hey, there's a temple to Erebos here, was that like a shocking revelation, or was that like, yeah, we know?
That was, I mean, how shocked you were, I don't know, but the knowledge of the Temple of Heliod is that it is a Temple of Heliod on top of Mount Kier. This is not
Right, but
known
no
for
one's like,
any
hey,
other
I'm gonna go
god.
visit the. You're right. I'm gonna go visit the Temple of Erebos. It's in the same place. You know, like I feel like this temple is a bit more hidden. We might be like. I'm wondering if it's some sort of like Feywild type shit where like it's here but it's not here. It's like sort
Like
of
a
like a
dimension shit.
I
yeah,
want
or
to.
like quite easily maybe just like the underworld version of this temple is the temple to Erebos type thing. And like the veil between the two places is thin enough here that he could like break through and get to the other.
Gotcha.
Can I review where the tapestries are back in here? You
Yeah.
said. Can I look at them more intently? I'll start like here.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys have time as well, so I'll stop making your roll checks for using your eyes. The tapestries themselves depict different myths and legend of Heliod, some of which you can see in the Theros setting book. One of which is excluded from that book seems to be this depiction of the archons of falling stars. Again, the guy you met, Electon, seems to be the first of those archons, these sort of Nixian / celestial beings who previously were tyrants of Theros. It shows a archon being struck from the sky and falling like a star into the east, and then being brought back up in Heliod's light with the sun coming up, which starts this sort of like depiction of Electon wearing that golden armor with the sun on it and the, again, sort of like themed weapons. And you can see there is a almost like a tree of like a lineage where Electon seems to have taken both a Archon wife and a mortal wife the mortal wife line seems to go off into these soldierly-looking people, very similar to Athan, and just kind of continue on that way. The line of the Archons up top just show more Archons of falling stars.
Maybe we have to wait till nighttime and the stars will guide us?
Could be.
I am
Because I would
looking.
assume
Go ahead.
Erebos would be more or less the absence of light, where Heliod is a presence of light. That makes sense. So maybe something shifts during the night.
Maybe.
Hmm. Is there any
I also don't think it'd be
special?
remiss for you to like maybe pray to your god a little bit while we're here.
I that is very true. I'm gonna try and pray to Heliod and see if I can't get some guidance to find the temple of Erebos.
Are you just kind of standing on this ground floor, just like what does Draki do to pray to Heliod or to sort of like call upon?
I'm going to kneel in front of the main statue right here in the middle because I'm assuming Heliod's statue.
So the statues
The
are the
center of
little
the
things
room?
with stars. These are just supporting
Ah.
pillars.
Well, fuck.
Most of the like depictions of Heliod are up on the rooftop.
Then I'm gonna go to the rooftop and I'll do it there.
Hey, remind me, Daxos was Elsbeth's lover. Is he a champion of Erebos?
No, he's a champion of Heliod.
Daxos is?
Yeah,
I thought Elsbeth was the champion of Heliod.
they both are.
Oh, they both are.
So pious towards and champion, I think, are being a little bit tossed up here. Daxos was definitely very pious towards Heliod, but Elspeth was named as Heliod's champion at the time.
Gotcha.
They're both
And
prominent figures in myth and legend at this point. They're some of the heroes that you guys have sort of grown up alongside of as well. So champion is pretty applicable to both of them. You're not restricted to one champion of a god.
do I notice, so the weapons and jewelry and stuff, are there duplicates of anything other than just the spears?
Just the spears.
Just the spears? How many spears are there?
There are 2.
And is there any writing or anything on them, or they just like have a very distinct?
The only plaques on things say Godsend, and they both say Godsend.
God, send
Again,
us
I'm
a
just picturing
sign.
like a little like tag, like it's a item you buy at a shop.
Is it something? Has this happened before? Can I make a check on like have gods like left tools in their like temples to allow heroes to use them?
You could make a religion check if you want.
Barts.
I mean, no specific like lore legend pops to mind that they either leave them there to be used or forbid the use of them being left out. The only real god who has kind of like a notably tied armory and or like similar thing is Erois, and that's mostly just because he's one of the gods of battle. So armories and stuff like that are essentially holy places. Draki, up on the rooftop.
Click, click, click.
Up on the rooftop. Click, click, click. Yes.
You're reaching out to Heliod for some divine assistance at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, what are you
Um,
asking?
Please give us a sign of how to get into the basically Erebos's temple so that we might prepare to protect the temple
You
and
can
keep it
make
from
me
ruin.
a persuasion check if you wish.
Okay.
To go to pray to Heliod in the most high of high Heliod places. You continue to sense his warmth around you and the radiation from these statues, but you do not.
Radiation.
The radiating heat.
I start losing hair.
But you do not see any omens or signs that would guide you in one way or another.
Can I
Okay.
walk around along this path
It
on
is
the
a little
outside?
bit treacherous, but yeah, you could walk around it.
The fuck is that?
Eminem as a slug, I think.
That's what we fight, but just fiery.
I don't even know what to say to that.
But yeah, around the
Oh, that's
edge
gonna
here,
be
the wind is also sort of rushing up from these slopes. Again, you are kind of just at the edge of a mountain peak.
I also considered going around the edge, and I was like, nah, I don't know.
Ah,
So this would normally be the
dead end.
staircase. Well, staircase.
Oh,
It still goes around the perimeter, but
so I can keep going this way.
yeah, just know you're not like technically in the score that you are. Not that it super matters.
Hmm.
Well, by golly, Joe,
It goes
hip,
in a circle.
hippity hop, I did not find shit. I think.
I'm gonna go to the room with all the suns in it.
Okie dokie.
I also am feeling kind of drawn to that. What is that? Wait, I'm actually gonna. I want to go to the third level,
The banquet level.
the banquet, the
I think
banquet.
Athen will probably make his way up to the crypt as well.
What's going on in the crypt?
Debating touching one of the suns. I don't know what that would do, but it might do something.
That sounds like a bad idea, but I mean, it's your god. Athen's not going to stop you. Is this the shrine to Elsbeth?
Yep.
Or
Is
the
it?
tomb.
Does Athen feel like he would be not disrespectful to enter it?
Entering's not. No.
Okay. Oh, there's a door on the other side.
Yeah, that's where Takik ran in through.
Dude, the lighting is really freaking out on this map. Let me tell you, it cannot decide what I've already seen.
It's working for me.
I guess while in here, Athen would sort of be reverent and offer sort of like a prayer of thanks to Elsbeth for protecting Akros during the siege. He's like, I don't know how you perished, but I am sure that you are in uh what is it called?
Nyx would be
Nyx.
where champions of the gods are ascended to in death.
I thought wasn't there a
There's a good layer of hell called Elysia.
okay, but that's not for what's the difference?
So essentially, if you're like the chosen of a god, when you die, you can be brought to live up in Nyx as like a demigod with them. Elysia is just
Oh.
like a higher level of hell where you're not eternally punished forever and you can just kind of chill.
Okay. So then yeah, he's like I'm sure you're in Nyx then.
Takik, what are you doing?
Kind of snuffling around in here. What are these thingies?
So all the circles with stars in them are statues. Some of
Of
them
just Heliod?
depict Heliod. The ones up here are warriors or sort of like humanoids who are clad in armor that depicts them as worshippers of Heliod, as well as like his warriors in Theros.
Do I think that is this a column? What is it?
Yeah, that is the central column of the building that has sort of protruded through the bottom floor to here. Cuts off a little bit in the kitchen, and then the interior part of that same column is where the crypt is above you.
Can I like knock on it? If it sounds like it's empty, or is it just solid?
You can make me a perception check.
Goody.
You knock, and it sounds like solid gold.
Are there any writing? Is there any writing on the walls or anything, or just these like curtains?
Just the curtains, from what you can see.
I guess like in general, just like kind of like look through this whole like level just to see if there's any weird out of place things. I don't know how long that'll take, but kind of like investigate around.
Yeah, so again, you guys, as you sort of like have time to look through stuff, you don't notice anything out of place. The only oddness of this temple is that it seems to be clean and well kept, despite the fact that nobody is here. Aside from you guys.
I'd like to go to the roof then. I'm just gonna.
What's the crypt gang doing while he's been doing that?
Is there any engravings on the crypt besides the one where she's just, I don't know, her body's on it? Elsbeth's.
So no like plaques or anything on the stuff here.
So it's just clean.
Yep.
I feel like it would be disrespectful to fuck with the Suns. I'm just saying. I don't know how I feel about that.
I also feel like that.
Hmm.
I am actually gonna, while they're thinking, Takik's gonna come over, find a quiet like spot and under the shade, say a quick prayer to Krufix and lay down to take a nap. Just asking for like guidance. A little short rest action.
Okay. So is there anything specific you sort of call out to your
I
god for? Or?
Yeah, just like guidance on any clues to where the Temple of Erebos might be. Just as we try and like kind of come up with a plan to defend the area.
Okay, can you make me a persuasion check?
Well, that's enough for you, darling.
One second. So you're taking this kind of short rest, as you're calling it, under this tree, and while you're sitting there meditating, trying to think of the lessons and guidance of Krufix, in the sky you spot a cloud that looks like the tree you're sitting under, but in both directions it becomes a tree. So kind of like the depiction of the world tree or Yggdrasil, but top is Yggdrasil and bottom is Yggdrasil.
Gotcha. Takik just kind of like scratch his head and like kind of dig around the base of the tree a little bit.
Digging around the base, there seems to be roots underneath, and the soil seems to be moist, lively. There's little critters that crawl between your fingers. There's just roots.
Interesting. He's gonna gently put back all of the dirt and make it not look like he was being a dumbass.
Okay. Is Crypt Gang up to anything?
Um, to be honest, I don't know what more Athen would really do. I think in his mind, he's probably just come to the conclusion that he's just gonna kick Inex's ass when he gets here and not have to worry about him getting to Erebos because he ain't gonna make it that far. Is kind of what he's settled on. um, he's more just trying to think about, like where to defend. Obviously, the middle floors don't have windows. The two entry points are from the roof or from the ground floor. Annex has a dragon. He can come from either way. It's kind of a long walk between them. Athen's not quite sure where the best place to defend is. So I guess his one prayer to Iroas is to ensure victory. Where does he think, or like where should he expect Annex's attack to come from? That's sort of Athens' mind state. He's like, I need to prepare for the coming battle. Whatever this otherworldly other temple is, clearly he's not cut out for that. So he wants to know just, hey, Iroas, what's the best thing I can do right now to prepare for this battle? Specifically, like, where do I think Annex is going to come from?
Would Athan go anywhere specific to pray, or would he stay in this crypt to Elspeth?
He'd probably stay in this crypt. I don't see I don't think any place else in the temple is necessarily more or less, holy. I mean, this is a crypt of a fallen warrior in his mind. Like, that's pretty special. So, yeah, he'd probably just stay here.
I guess I should have asked this for everybody, but in Athan sort of reaching out to Iroas, is this sort of interior, or is this like verbalized out loud?
It's probably like spoken softly. Like if you were next to him, you might be able to hear him, but he's not like proclaiming it.
Okay. You can make me a persuasion check as well.
Oh boy. Where am I looking? Persuasion. That's perception. Persuasion is this one.
What do you mean by try? Like, is it like
As you were sort of speaking to Iroas, there's no omens or signs of which you see that sort of come to your perception.
Okay. Athen takes that to mean that he will make the right decision on his own. So being pretty content with that, then he's going to go find some food and just rest up and prepare for the coming fight.
I would like to go down to the crypt now.
To the crypt on the floor beneath you where all the suns are.
Is there another one I should know about?
You are in the crypt.
Hmm.
Has Draki been standing there pondering the sun?
Pretty much. I'm really pondering the sun. Wondering if I produce my own sun, aka cast daylight without doing
I thought you
anything.
had a daughter.
Well, I would produce a sun.
With Phyla?
I mean, yeah. I mean, she seemed pretty fucking. She seemed like a queen, quite a sturdy individual. Perfect specimen.
You're detecting magic?
Yeah. This whole bitch about to light up.
Yeah, I mean it was bright in here already, but it continues to be bright. Thomas, I forgot you had detect evil and good.
Yes.
It's not really gonna change a lot of what happened. Hold on, maybe they're not on this list. Oh no, they are on this list. The radiant lights of sun you do detect as undead creatures.
Okay. I mean,
For the sake of it, the whole fucking place is consecrated. In case that wasn't clear.
yeah, I think Athen would see them as probably just like spirits of like probably notable Heliod worshippers who like were given, you know, a sacred task to sort of watch over the temple and stuff like that. That wouldn't raise any alarms in his mind, just given like the context. I guess he might pass that along. So he might like say as much like, "Oh, I believe these are like spirits of, you know, Heliod's chosen," but it doesn't like he's not like, "Oh my god, undead, kill him," you know, like.
Right.
So Takik, the thing that you detect again, the place lights up. The urns are not magical, and the coffin itself is not magical.
Is there anything in this room? Is it just like the floor is glowing?
Pretty much like the floors, the walls, the pillars, everything seems to be glowing. Dancing lights is an illusion spell, so like that produces light. You would imagine the strange transference of sunlight to the interior walls in here that has been throughout the entire temple would classify under illusion. Not that it's showing you something false necessarily, but it is producing a light.
Well, while my spell's up, I'm just gonna spend time going through the other floors.
Are the urns made out of gold too?
No, they're not.
Okay. Are they just stone then, or
They are clay.
okay? Traditional urn.
Yeah. Oops, that's the wrong page. Assuming you go back upstairs as well with this detect magic. Up here there is in the plant potters. I believe it is. Double check. I always forget what this spell actually is. I think it's conjuration, but it might be something else.
I know that conjuration might be because they're conjuring plant life.
It'd be transmutation, sorry.
Okay.
And walking around. The only other thing that's not like this illusion or transmutation is the altar up here that has divination magic about it.
What was the dream you had, Garrett? Again on the roof.
I saw the tree I was laying under, basically like mimicked above, like as above, so below type shit.
Hmm.
Going through the rest of the floors, the only other things that aren't magical are the tapestries and the weapons on the first floor.
The weapons are not magical.
Correct. Same with the
Same.
armors and the circlets and whatnot. All the stuff that's displayed down there.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I think Draki just figures maybe nighttime will reveal more.
I'll tell Draki when I pass them that there is magic on the altar of divination, and say that I'm not familiar enough with Heliod to know what that might require, or tell him that if he has any ideas, maybe he should try doing something up there.
That's fair. I'll go take a nap on the altar.
What the hell?
Really is a cat out in the sun.
Yeah, figured I'll get a little rest in, see if I can't.
I guess if Athen makes himself
Just
his meal and he'll bring it up to the big banquet hall table on the roof to eat it.
kind of bask in the glory of Heliod's sun, as it is quite bright.
Well, that and have a good 360 view of the surrounding area in case anyone tries to attack.
That is fair.
Tikik, doing anything else down there?
Gonna kind of mess around with my loot, my DOS loot. Just kind of chill and play it, and kind of just try and think, because like Athen, Takik's thinking now that because we're like in like essentially like a quote unquote plug for the volcano, that like it's literally just like underneath this plug is the inverted temple to Erebos, but he just doesn't know how that works.
I mean, that's Athen's thought, but if he couldn't find a secret passage, he's just like, well, I don't know.
Right.
Okay. Athen.
I think Athen has settled on that the like the bottom floor of the temple is probably where he needs to defend the most. So that's where he's gonna post up when the time comes. But yeah,
The food does fill you up as normal food does, and again, is fresh. It's been a bit since you've
Nice.
been able to eat stuff that's not rations or scrounged up from the lava fields. Fresh fruit tastes great.
always good to have a nice meal before a battle. Get his energy up.
Rocky's gonna have to indulge in some of that action.
I think you've indulged enough. Didn't you already make yourself food?
No, I just grabbed a quick snack while passing through the kitchen.
Oh, okay. A quick snack. Didn't you eat like a rack of lamb or something?
A leg.
Just a little snack.
I
Yeah.
whole-
Something
It
to
is-
whet the appetite.
It's lunchtime right now. Come on.
What about second breakfast?
It is after
Afternoon
all of this
tea.
exploring, veering closer to dinner now. You're again at extremely high point, so the sun setting in the distance is still providing light to where you are.
Nice.
I will join my friends wherever they are.
I think they're having
Yeah,
a
I think
picnic up top.
I think Athen will stay up top until he can no longer see, and then probably head down. He might take one of the bedrolls from the barracks and bring it down to the first floor and sleep down there.
Takeshi's just gonna hang out with by kind of wherever Athen decides to sleep, just so we all stay together. He doesn't really care where we sleep. He also doesn't think that the king is gonna be here tonight, but better to be safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah,
But then also, like, if he's on a dragon, I swear that they said he had to destroy something in the temple above the earth and then go down and destroy something at the bottom to fully release everything, unless he already destroyed something on top.
and I might be remembering this wrong. I thought it was more he just had to get through Heliod's temple to go to Erebos's, like, and maybe
that's
that
what I
requires
understood.
destruction, or maybe destruction is just inherently applied. But it is Athens' belief that, like, one way or another he has to go through this temple to get to the other one. But because Athen doesn't know where the actual, like, transition point is, he's just kind of guessing that it's going to be at the bottom, because if the Temple to Erebos is quote unquote below this one, then, like, geometrically that's where it would be. Just it would be on the bottom side. So that's where Athens going to be.
Yeah, I don't remember the specific words Petros told you, but he was saying Anax needs to get to the Temple of Heliod to then get to the bottom of this structure that is a secret to the rest of the world.
Right. It's a secret to us too.
He didn't mention he needed to destroy anything in the temple itself.
Right. I think he just has to go, like, through here. So Athens' goal is to just not let him get through, whatever that entails.
Draki could remind you guys, the forces of King Anax have been known to melt through stone buildings.
Well, yeah, and it's
guess
probably
I'm
easier to
gonna-
melt through fucking metal buildings, but
Would it be dumb if
Probably.
I went around and tapped around down here with my hooves to see if I hear anything? I'm gonna go pitter
With your
patter tap
hooves.
with my hooves.
Athens pretty confident that Anax's arrival isn't going to be like a quiet one. And again, it's just as soon as he sees him, he's gonna just try and get in his way wherever he is.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep it simple in this one.
I mean, I think we personally need to keep him out of the temple. Like as
The only
far
thing I think about
away
bringing
we
him in the
can.
temple is because, again, it limits the dragon's mobility.
True, and that's if the dragon can even get into the temple. Not sure how big these rooms are.
I mean, I'm again much like the melting through walls of stone. Like I'm sure the dragon could break its way in. I don't know if the
That's
gold
true.
of Heliod is more durable than regular gold, but I Athen has no clear idea, who wins that fight. Maybe the dragon, maybe he just parks him outside. We don't got to deal with the dragon.
Yeah, he's like, all right, this is your spot. Please
Takik,
leave a tip.
are you tiptoeing downstairs?
I'll go kind of like basically just start investigating to see if I hear anything or see any secret passageways underground.
And you're just like trying to echolocate with your hooves.
Yeah, just kind of like going back and forth, like all around. Don't know how long it'll take me, but I'll just start in this kind of general area and work my way toward the front.
For this, I will require an investigation check.
I forgot, Teak, when you had detect magic up, did you sense anything from those 2 spears?
No, they're just normal spears, supposedly.
The
Just
non-magic type.
plants up here, the altar, and the stuff that makes up the building itself.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I mean you're tip tapping. You think it'd be quite a feat for somebody to be able to kind of hear through that much solid material, if there even was something down there. You don't detect any sort of hollows in the ground or loose. The ground's not even made out of bricks; it's just solid gold. But even as the night sky is sort of taking over, as you guys get closer to the end of the day here, the inside of this place is still lit with daylight.
Interesting.
Kind of annoying to sleep through.
The top where you guys are
Damn
is
near
also
impossible.
lit with daylight.
It's pretty fucking lit.
Just sending up a massive beam of light into the air. Oh, maybe it's above us. Do I see
How
anything
the
above the
fuck are we
temple?
supposed to get there then?
I don't know.
The Assassin's Creed, just we didn't look above us. I mean, you look up and you can see the starry night of Nyx sort of appearing over you. It's not similar to Nyxos Shrine to Nyx, but it is there. It's a pretty clear night.
Okay. Well, I can't think of anything.
Oh. Sorry. Continue.
Say, do I notice anything about the front doors?
They are sun themed.
No, like
Speak friend and you shall enter. Do we get a door like
like is
that?
there any indication of like Erebos anywhere, or is it all just sun god stuff?
All Heliod.
Which is why I think there's got to be something in the crypt. Well, I don't know, because I mean, death and a crypt and God of Dead. I mean,
Maybe. I mean, more likely the crypt than the kitchen,
and the kitchen.
Than.
No, more likely the crypt than the kitchen.
Oh, then the kitchen. I was like, what the heck are you finding in a kitchen? It's like those are not that
You
comparable.
have to eat the spoiled fruit.
There is no spoiled fruit.
Exactly.
Do the shelves just replenish all their food after we eat from them?
You haven't noticed any replenishing.
Damn, that'd be cool.
Athen would like to, when they go to sleep, essentially take a watch towards the later end of the watch cycle, because he wants to do something during that time.
Take
But
whatever
other
watch
than
we need.
yeah, other than that, nothing else of note for the remainder of the day.
If you guys are we sleeping on the first floor? Because I can cast my tiny hut again just to have like darkness or like dim light.
Sure.
Yeah.
The funniest use of tiny hut is to turn down the lights.
It's way too
Never
bright.
thought we would need that.
Listen, when you're with me, I got good ideas. Okay. Just like when I
Except for
use
how
thieves' can't like
It's
5
like
times.
it's when we leave you alone that you become a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what to do with yourself.
I start getting really scared.
But
I
yeah,
don't know where we're sleeping, but
is anybody opposing to sleeping on the bottom floor or doing something before the sleeping begins?
I guess when I'm going down the stairs, I'll check the crypt, see if anything changed.
Stopping in the crypt, there is no noticeable difference.
Okay. Then I will continue down to the first floor.
In this display room, you are in a dimmer lit tiny hut.
Is that what this is? What is this little token?
Yeah, it's the tiny hut. It's got the blue aura.
Oh.
Aura.
Okay.
I mean, it's got an aura. It is blue, but I mostly did that so it'd be visible. But in this bright light, it's not because
It's very faint, yeah.
it emits dim light, is what it says.
Mm.
So it's dim light that it makes. So it's being bled out by the light all around you.
He's aura farming.
But Athen, you're gonna wake up closer to dawn, right?
Yeah, just whenever I can before my like long rest, I want to cast a spell. So whenever I can cast that spell and still get my spell slot back,
Okay. Draki and
whatever that amounts to.
Takik, are you guys taking any actual watch? Takik, you can't necessarily leave the tiny hut on watch, as otherwise the spell ends. So
I'll
you would
like
stay
kind of
vigilant
just
on
like
this first floor.
yeah, I'll like stay vigilant.
I'll just take whichever watch is convenient to him or to the others.
Okay, so we'll go with Takik first. If nobody else is doing anything for the day, Takik can give me a perception check for his watch.
Perfect. Drum roll, please.
Yeah, I mean, again, nothing of note seems to come to you as you're down here viewing the displays from where you are. You can still see some of those tapestries depicting different things about Heliod and the progeny of his little pet projects of the Archons. But other than that, nothing sticks out. You don't hear any dragon roars.
Huzzah!
Then you go to wake up Draki.
Draki, wakey wakey.
Oh, is it eggs and bakey time already?
No, I get to looking.
Damn it.
Do you stay in the bubble, Draki, or do you go about the first floor, or like go in and out?
I'm gonna go out about the first floor, probably go out the front door, check around, go up to the roof, look out from up top, see if I can't see anything.
Okay, Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Holy shit.
Ever perceptive people. Yeah, similar to how Takik had sort of given his report, there's not much going on. It's a peaceful night up here on the peak of Mount Kier. It's a little distracting, all the elegance and gaudiness of the Temple of Heliod that you're at.
So fancy.
And you remember to go down and kick Athan awake for casting whatever spell it is that he wanted to do
Yep.
before the long rest ends.
Yep.
Well,
Athen will probably also leave the bubble during that time. Let's see.
the bubble.
He is going to cast ceremony, and essentially he's going to do an hour-long. Oh, this is a ritual. I could just. Oh, okay. Well, I guess he'll make it a ritual. He'll make a fucking thing out of it. Why not? Cast a fucking hour anyway. What's another 10 minutes? But essentially he's going to pray to Iroas for the coming confrontation, pray for wisdom and for strength and for victory, all that stuff. But he is going to use the dedication part of it on himself. So for the next 24 hours, he's going to give himself a bit of a boost to his saving throws.
You're renewing your vows to Iroa.
Yeah, it's basically.
Okay.
Well, it was either that or marry the other two. So
Hell yeah, you should
I've
have married
suggested
him.
it in a campaign before.
I know Dresden wants to marry people, but that didn't seem to be honest, an honest use of his god's powers. So it's gonna go with this one instead.
Okay.
And he'll just, he'll do that. Again, not really like asking for answers from Iroas. He's already done that. He doesn't expect anything. But just like going through, I like to imagine this is probably like a common ceremony for Akroan warriors, like before a big battle type deal. Or maybe like something that like a whole group of them would like get together while like a priest or another paladin like did the same thing to them type deal. But yeah, that's what he wants to do. Cast that spell.
Yeah. So as you're taking this time to cast this spell and continue to double, triple, quadruple down at this point to your dedication to Iroas, in the completion of casting the spell and feeling the benefit of it, you do hear sort of the blasting of trumpets that kind of heralds in victorious warriors back to Akros, coming from the hall before you, specifically over towards where the tapestry is that again has that electon archon on it, and sounding
it's
like
over
it's,
here.
it's sort of along these pillars.
Oh, okay.
That sort of lineage down at the bottom, both you get this sense of like dedication to Erois from them, as well as again sort of having a little bit more time here, and this strange omen from Irois, seeing they depict Akroan soldiers, starting with a king at the beginning, coming from Electon.
Do I like recognize like, oh, this is the founding king of Acroas or something like that?
You would know the founding king of Akros is called Electus. His name likely coming from Electon, based off of these tapestries here.
Gotcha.
So there's
Okay.
a sense of this devotion and dedication to Iroas, even in this Heliod tapestry that sort of calls to you as you're making this dedication.
Right. How current does this tapestry get?
So it starts with the first king of Akros, and then it just sort of goes sort of a crow and soldier, going down, kind of like the Lectoi families, essentially. It doesn't depict any specific person past the first king of Akros.
Okay, it's not like an actual family tree.
No. It's just showing
Gotcha.
a lineage from an Archon to the mortals of Akros and an Archon to other Archons above.
Right. I mean, this might be a stretch. This is sort of a double tree in a way. Could maybe that be what Tikik's vision was about? Like something to do with this tapestry here?
I mean, anything's possible. You can take away
Okay.
from that description what you wish.
I mean, Adam just like looks behind the tapestry. You know, he's a very simple man. I guess yeah, he would do his best to just give it a once over, see if he sees anything that stands out other than that, or just be like, huh, neat. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, looking around, it just seems to be this tapestry, and the horns fade eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he just feels emboldened by that. He sees it as another good sign. And you know, when his time is over, he's gonna go back to sleep. And I think he was the last one on watch, so no one else to wake up.
Yep. You all wake up in the morning long rested. The dawn greets you in the perpetual daylight of this temple. On the morning of what is due to be Anax's arrival at this temple. And we will pick up from there for the preparations and the potential confrontations for next time.
Nice.
Dun dun
Perfect.
dun.
We are going to slay.
We are going to fucking murder them.
They will
Fact.
all die before me.